Hello and welcome to France 24 and RFI. We have an exceptional interview beamed in from space on board the International Space Station. We are joined by Sophie Adenot. Hello, Sophie Adenot. Thank you for being with us on France 24 and RFI.
Hello, France 24, and hello to the viewers. Thank you very much for taking the time to have a chat with a French woman with her head in the clouds.
With me today is Baptiste Coulon, a journalist from RFI. Hello, Baptiste. Sophie Adenot, you carry out two spacewalks in just a week in order to carry out maintenance operations. We know this is something that's very physically demanding. So my first question is very simple, really. How are you feeling?
Well, psychologically, mentally, I feel great. Mission accomplished. We managed to repair the antenna in spite of all the issues we had with the electrical connectors, with the screws. We had every mechanical problem possible. And in spite of it all, we managed to install the new antenna. The teams have started testing. We're expecting results soon. And I do hope they will be conclusive, but for the moment, everything's going very well. So again, psychologically speaking, I think that it's been great. It hasn't been easy, but we worked with the team in Houston, Jack and Jessica here at the station, who helped with the robotic arm and who helped us get started in the morning, helped us out of our suits in the evening. And my partner, Anil, we worked very well together as a team. We were very well coordinated in order to achieve this. So I feel good psychologically. Now, physically, I am very sore, but it's the day after a spacewalk, so it's only to be expected. A spacesuit is a beast you have to tame. It's incredibly heavy, and every movement is incredibly tiring. Moving your arm, your hand, holding an object, it uses a lot of energy. And so I have to admit, I'm a little sore, but it's normal.
Sophie Adenot, tell us about the moment when the door opened and you made your first steps out in space. How does that feel? Are those feelings that you expected or not?
Yes and no. Everyone has their own experience. And to prepare for mine, I asked different people how it felt. And I have to say that my experience of the first and second spacewalks were different. The first time, I felt an intense joy. Wow! The airlock opened, and there it was. But at the same time, I felt apprehensive. It was like a leap into the unknown, so to speak. And so, both joy and apprehension. And then, the second spacewalk, because it was a follow-up, given that we had so many technical issues during the first spacewalk, well, we did feel some pressure. We needed to install the new antenna. But of course, mechanical problems do happen. So I felt the pressure. And I asked Claudie for her advice. She sent me an email just the day before yesterday. And she said, Sophie, you need to trust the teams. You need to trust what you've learned, the procedures, the cables tethering you to the station, the cables tethering the tools to your bag. And so that's what I did. And once again, thank you, Claudie. Because when the airlock opens, you think, it's time. The teams are ready, the crew's ready, let's go.
So having had to perform two spacewalks when only one was initially planned, did this make the astronaut in you feel a bit frustrated, or was it on the contrary an added opportunity to perform this second spacewalk for free, as it were?
Well, no frustration at all, I would say, because given all of the technical issues we encountered, it's actually a miracle that it only took 2 tries and not more. We had every issue possible, the electrical connectors, the bolts. We actually had 30-odd pages of cases of non-compliance, and actually everything that could go wrong did go wrong. And so at the end of the day, I think it's positive that we managed in just 2 attempts. And so I think I'd like to stay positive on that.
Sophie Adenot, we're reaching the end of a truly record-breaking summer, especially in Europe, the record heat waves and record forest fires. To what extent did you visually see the consequences of climate change? Can you give us maybe some concrete examples of what you could physically see with your own eyes?
Yes, indeed. Climate change or dry, hot summers are very visible. It's blatant. And what struck me during the dry season is to see the change in colors. We took off in February, and France then was green. But ever since the summer started, everything was gray, yellow, like a field of shorn wheat. And the difference in color was very striking. France as a whole changed color. So that's the first thing. Second, you can actually see the fires. More than that, you can see clouds of smoke, and you can see the large gusts of wind carrying the smoke. That's very striking. And also you see the lakes drying up. And one of the most striking examples is the Aral Sea. You can actually see it shrinking very quickly. And where there's no longer any water, you see that that has been turned into forests. So that's really interesting. And I also saw, and this surprised me the first time I saw such a thing, I saw submerged islands. So you can see just a small layer of water in these atolls, and you realize that there probably used to be an island under there just a few years ago. So you can see the consequences of climate change.
So having spent time in this privileged place perched higher above our planet, being able to have this distance, this global view, did this change your perspective? Do you feel maybe more invested? Do you have a new sense of purpose?
Of course. Truly, this is a transformational experience, and I'd like more people to be able to go through that. The way you see the Earth completely changes. Now, of course, I'm not back on Earth yet, so I'll see when I come back, but I do think it is transformational. And that is something that I want to share with people when I come back, that perspective, what you see from up here. I would like to share that point of view, and if that can lead to dialogue, ideas, and if that can help us take better care of the Earth, well, then I would consider that to be part of my work.
So we're awaiting your return to Earth in about a month. The end of your mission is drawing near. So do you think it's time to assess your time in space? What have been your main takeaways from this first exploration of space?
I think I'd say things are going well. Up to this point, we were able to conduct all of our scientific experiments practically. We've ticked all the boxes. Nearly all. We have a few more to tick before we return to Earth. The spacewalks. the fact that I was able to share with France and the world, but the French in particular, what I was experiencing up there in space, in order to perhaps inspire others to do this work too. And so the final takeaway remains to be seen, but on the whole, I feel very positive.
Thank you, Sophie Adenot. Thank you for being with us on France 24 and RFI.
Thank you very much. Thank you to RFI listeners and France 24 viewers.
A big thank you, Sophie Adenot, for being with us on France 24 and RFI. Thank you, Baptiste, for this interview. You can, of course, find this interview on our website and our different digital platforms. Stay tuned to France 24.